woman was surprised to find a property deed hidden under her bed. When she heard from the demolition workers that the house was the CEO's ancestral home, she suddenly realized that the taxi driver she had a flash marriage with was actually the world's wealthiest billionaire. Just 5 days ago, the 50-year-old woman was kicked out of her home by her son. Homeless, she could only go on blind dates, hoping to find a man to spend the rest of her life with. But the men who came to the dates were all disappointing, which made her feel very disheartened. At the same time, the billionaire CEO, also hiding his identity, came for a blind date, only to find that the women were all money-minded and looked down on him as just a taxi driver. Thus, the two met by chance, as if fate had cleverly brought them together. They both felt good about each other, so within just 10 minutes of meeting, they went straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a marriage certificate. When the woman went home to tell her son the good news, her son wasn't happy for her. Instead, he scolded her for marrying without getting a bride price, feeling that he, as her son, was losing out. Her mother-in-law also scolded her for being unfaithful, saying she remarried without permission and angrily slapped her. Not wanting to argue with this unreasonable family, the woman picked up her suitcase and left home. But the internal grievance was too much to bear, and she squatted on the ground, crying loudly. At this moment, she wasn't sure if the old man she had a flash marriage with would truly treat her well. Just then, the old man came to find her in his taxi. Seeing her tear-streaked face, he couldn't help but feel sorry for her, asking if she was reluctant to leave this home, saying he could move in if necessary. The woman said that her mother-in-law and son didn't agree with her getting married. The man felt these were minor issues, so he took her suitcase and put it in the taxi, then drove her to work. Seeing the woman with the CEO, her colleagues' attitudes changed completely, becoming particularly respectful towards her. She felt a bit unaccustomed to this sudden change. Unexpectedly, the CEO's daughter worked in the same hotel as her. When the CEO's daughter learned that her father had a flash marriage, and that his partner was her colleague, she expressed full support. When the woman arrived at the man's old house, she sighed at the sight of the dilapidated building, with the table piled high with messy items. But thinking it was at least a place to stay, she resigned herself, blaming her bad luck. She began tidying up the house. When the man returned, he was moved to see the house transformed, clean, and orderly. He was instantly touched. Not wanting his woman to suffer any longer, he immediately called his subordinates to prepare some things, deciding to reveal his CEO identity to her. When the woman was ready to go dancing with her girlfriends after cleaning up, the man said he wanted to go with her, and had something important to tell her. They happily went to the square, where they saw people setting up the place. The woman thought someone was going to propose there, only to realize that she was the leading lady.